is it so hard to talk about money? I'm Jill Horner. This is Comcast Newsmakers. With me is Joan Reading. She's president of Credit Counseling Center. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
We can have conversations with our friends and families and loved ones about almost anything, but money, you say, is really the last taboo.
Right. Here's an example of that. I was teaching a course at Trenton State College many moons ago, and I was teaching a course on consumer psychology, which was fascinating because the book was written by the business marketing department. So they're marketing to consumers, and I, in this consumer psychology class, was saying, don't fall for these traps. So we're having a conversation about money, and at the end of the class ended. Class came back the next day, and some young man raised his hand. He says, interesting, at dinner last night, I asked my father, what do you make? And his father's response was, why do you want to know? So how do we have a conversation when that's your entree to having a conversation about money?
And that's part of the issue, you say, is that if we can have open dialogue and open conversations, not only about how much someone makes, but about savings and earning and what we can do with our finances, then we can end up in situations where we don't have savings.
Right. If you look at the statistics, you make a lot of money over your lifetime. And I do ask young people to come into the Credit Counseling Center. If you've been working from 22 to 32, and your average take-home is, I don't know, let's just say $25,000. So that's $250,000. How much of that do you still have? I know you had to pay rent, you had to get a car, and you had to go play at some level. But at some level, where's your savings? So when I do first home buyer, and I say, how much do you have to put down? And they say, whatever amount of money, $5,000 or $10,000. It's often from a bonus or a tax return. It's not necessarily saved over that 10-year period when there's no reason why it can't be.
You say 46% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. We don't necessarily have to live this way, and the key is just to spend less than you make. But that doesn't sound so easy for many of us.
It depends.
Okay.
It is that easy if you follow that precept. The reason why we get distracted, I'm not sure we have the necessary self-control. And I guess what I really want to say is be more self-aware, and take care of self. Because the first person, the most important you got to take care of is yourself. And if you're not putting money away for you, who are you putting it away for? Or who are you donating it to? To the coffee shop, to the sandwich shop, to the pizza man. Those are nice, but you're building their wealth. Good for you, but where's your wealth?
And we just have a short time left, but you as an organization do offer services. You are a not-for-profit organization. You do offer services for people who do need some assistance when it comes to their credit.
Right, we want to help them organize their spending plan and figure out how they can keep that money and still run their household.
Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you.
We've been talking with Joan Reading. She's president of Credit Counseling Center. I'm Jill Horner.